Hi guys, welcome back to Code Master Coach, your medical coding tutor. Guys, look who's here. It's Jasmine Vializ of Integrated Practice Solutions, IPS. Jasmine, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me again. I've missed you.
I've missed you. It's so good to talk to you. I am so excited because ever since you've agreed to do my billing and reimbursement course, I've had emails coming in, students are interested. So when you agreed to do a June 15th class, I announced it on my YouTube, and oh my gosh, the response I'm getting is overwhelming. Can we talk a little bit about the billing and reimbursement course?
Absolutely. That would be great. Let's do it.
Okay, I've just got a couple of questions, and then any additional after, that you want to add, please do so. All right, so it is a medical billing and reimbursement course. What is the length of this course?
Yeah, so the course is 12 weeks. And so we've designed it to be 12 weeks to make sure that we have enough time to really get into the content and allow you to absorb the content and work through some of the assignments to just test your learning. Obviously, those 12 weeks, if you're a fast learner and we're able to move together as a group faster, we will do that. But we're going to shoot for 12 weeks. So we're starting on June 15th. And our end date is the week of August 31st. So look at that 12 weeks. Hopefully everybody's on track. We move along together, and maybe we move a little bit faster before the end of our summer.
Okay, great. So this is a completely online course.
Completely online.
Will you offer Zoom sessions?
Yes, Zoom sessions. At this time, we're set up to have one Zoom session a week, and it will be for 1 hour. We might extend that to an additional session, obviously depending upon the retention and the learning and the content, because there's some content where we get more in depth, and so maybe we'll add an additional Zoom session during those weeks. So definitely at least 1 hour Zoom sessions weekly and live sessions, and perhaps the second hour there will be some learning, and then also additional just reinforcement discussion and working through some of the case studies together.
Okay.
Yep.
So what are your expectations of my students?
Yes. So expecting them to stay on track with me. The goal really is to see them move along where we all learn together. So ask questions if you feel like you aren't sure, because the purpose of the Zoom sessions is a chance for us to get together to answer some of those questions or things that are hanging up for you, where maybe you learned something, read something in your text, or when you were looking through the content or working through the content online, a question arose. If you don't bring that to the table, it might be something that is missing from your learning moving forward, and a key component for you to be able to absorb what we move into next. So I want people to ask questions. I want to make sure that we don't fall behind, because when people fall behind, we start to, see some grades that aren't acceptable or what we want to see, and it starts to really kind of hurt the confidence for you as you're learning this new information and moving forward, leaving this program. So we want to make sure that you stay on track. So if you get hung up, ask questions, make sure that you set up a schedule that allows you to be feeling more confident about what your timing is, so you have enough time set aside for studying, enough time set aside for going through the content, and then attending the Zooms. Really important that you attend as many of the Zooms as possible. We do have a requirement that we don't want you missing consecutive number of Zoom classes or Zoom sessions, and that's really just to keep us all on track together.
Right. Okay. The cost of the course right now, we'll run that special for people that are down wanting a course right now, is $250, correct, for the course?
Yep, that's correct, $250.
So then the end goal of the course, what can my students expect their end goal to be?
Yes, so end goal. So there's probably two parts to that question. So the first thing is, if somebody is wanting to get this under their belt so that they can continue on for coding, then their next step is going to go back to continue on through the rest of their coding program so that they can go out and test out for their CPC. So it is a component of the CPC that there's some elements you're going to learn that will be on your CPC exam from this medical reimbursement course. And the other part of that is folks who are looking to plug in directly to medical billing. So the course is comprehensive, and it does give a lot of information that is very foundational to someone wanting to get into the field of medical billing. The reason why you and I started what we're doing, this journey of offering courses to folks, is because we found that most of these programs out there don't really prepare people for real life situations. And so what we talk through and what we work through in this course will be real life situations that you will encounter and things that you will encounter in today's practice. A lot of these textbooks and even programs that are teaching they're not relevant. Sometimes 25 to 35% of what they're talking about in the course is not even the way that things work anymore. It's amazing to me how outdated some of these texts and programs are that are out there. So really important to know that what you're going to learn will help you get into the field of medical billing. Now, if you are interested in going out to test for your CPB, that's the Certified Professional Billers certification. This is going to provide you with a foundation to prepare for that test. Obviously, you'll want to continue on with some additional prep and pre-testing to just make sure you feel good about the sitting for the test, the exam. And then we'll talk further at some point about some opportunities that I'm working on that's going to help people prep for that test and help them really prepare for the sitting down and the testing, because that can be its own its own animal, just sitting for those hours. So yeah,
I agree. Okay. What prerequisites would you request of a student prior to taking your class?
Good question. So prerequisites would definitely include, if you are brand new to healthcare, I 100% recommend that you take CodeMasterCoachs Medical Introduction to Medical Terminology. It's just going to help you feel more comfortable, more confident, helps to give you a good foundation for what we're going to get into as it relates, because when you take this medical billing course, if you're wanting to prep and move on, you have in the CPB exam, you will have an element of coding as well. So I'd say it's probably something like not even 20, maybe 80-20 on both sides. So there's probably 20% of billing in the CPC. And then on the flip side of it for the CPB, it's about 20% of coding. So you'll want to be familiar with the medical terminology, even if you're, wanting to insert yourself as a billing assistant somewhere. It just is going to help you feel more confident, because you're going to hear these terms. No matter what, you're going to hear these terms, you're going to deal with them. So really important. The next thing I would say is, if you're taking or wanting to move through coding and continue that, you've got to keep laying that foundation. So move into the coding part one's course first before you start moving into what we're talking about, because because this is a part of CodeMasterCoachs program, I have designed it in a way that if you are wanting to code, she's going to cover most of the coding. I stay very high level when it comes to coding. So if you're continuing coding, you're going to miss a whole element if you aren't taking the part one of the coding first.
Right. Okay. Now, as you know, CodeMasterCoach recently started what's called an independent mode. This was not something I had planned to do when I started my medical coding program, because I need that interaction with my students. I need to walk them, hold their hands all the way through the program. But I've got students that really like independent mode. They want that independent mode training. Mm-hmm. Will you allow independent mode in your program, in your class?
Yes, we will definitely allow independent mode. I'm with you that, I think our initial desire when we designed this course was to really make sure that we can feel comfortable and confident in the way that the students are absorbing the information. And so we do that with the Zoom sessions where you can have those one-on-ones and a chance to have FaceTime with the students. And so it was a little bit, I think, like, oh no, this might be harder to keep a pulse on that, right? But certainly, if you feel ready and you have a foundation of healthcare in your background where you feel prepared to move through the content independently, you absolutely can take the program as independent study. And if you find that you are at a loss, you get to week one or two, and you're like, I don't think I can do this, then just flip back to the guided track or the assisted track. Yeah, the full course, we'll call it.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Full course mode. Yes.
Course mode.
All right. Well, I will put the link to your class below in the description bar, mm-hmm. so that if anyone wants to find the link to register for the class, they can go right on. And if they have any questions, majority of them have my CodeMasterCoach@gmail.com email address. Is that okay if I forward emails to you, or do you want to?
No, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, go ahead and email CodeMasterCoach, and we will communicate that way. Yes.
Okay, good. Great. Well, thank you so much. Is there anything else you want to add to this?
No, I'm excited. I'm very much looking forward to reconnecting with our students and getting everybody started. I know this is a new era. One of the great things that I guess I'll say as I leave this is that if you've been in an industry that's been impacted by what's happening right now, we haven't noticed a difference in our structure in our lives, because in healthcare, obviously, things are still moving, things are still happening, business is still running. So medical billing is a very resilient industry. Healthcare is a very resilient industry. And so I will encourage you, all of our team, most of them are already remote. The folks that weren't remote are obviously working remotely and able to work from home comfortably. So it's definitely the time, if you have been exploring it, take advantage now, because there's huge opportunities. There's going to be folks that aren't going to want to transition back into working in the practice because they've been home with their kids. So there'll be jobs, right? And the doctors, when these doctors already reopened, the ones that were reducing hours, they've already been reopening all across the country. So this is the opportunity right now, you guys, to go ahead and get in and get your foot in the door and start taking on some of these new courses and new content. I'm sure you're going to love it. I mean, why not, right?
Right.
Why not?
Like I said, when we first came on, I said, well, a lot of people slowed down with this COVID-19, but medical coding, and so I imagine medical billing didn't slow down. We had the little scare in the beginning, but telehealth took over as far as healthcare. I'm generating telehealth codes now, so patients are still seeing patients. Coding is still taking place.
Absolutely. 100% the same for medical billing. So very resilient. So definitely the time, you guys. It's definitely the time. So
well, thank you so much. I just wanted to do some type of videos, one, so that I could introduce you to the students that are interested. They get to see you, they get to hear your point of view, and they know that CodeMaster Coaches, I mean, I'm backing you 100%. I support you. I know you know what you're doing. I saw you on YouTube. I jumped on you as well. I went to you and said, I need to get to know you. So I am so glad to have you a part of this venture.
Likewise. Thank you so much for having me, CodeMaster Coach. And you know, I respect you greatly, and I know that you are just a rock star. So we work together on projects because I love how you just really know how to get things into people's minds, help them absorb it, and you know, getting that through to clients too that need to know it for the sake of coding. So it's a beautiful thing. So match made in heaven. I appreciate you.
Well, good. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Thanks, dear.